Green morning, green afternoon, green evening to all our brothers and sisters across the world. Wherever you are joining us from, we are proud that you are a part of this particular webinar and you are joining us. We extend you a very, very warm welcome. Hope you are taking care of your health, you're taking care of others, those are associated with you in your community, in your society, and around you, they all are with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Today, we are having our very distinguished guest all the way from Canada, Shri Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji. He is the CEO of the Kotamarti Group, the CPS Professional Corporation, Toronto, Canada. And we are taking a very powerful subject for all of us. What is the power of self? Last Friday, if you remember, we had done the first part. Today, we are on the second part. So let me roll a few slides quickly. And we would look forward to, this was the last program, if you remember, 27th of August. Believe in the power that is within you. We had discussed the power of self on the first day. And there were a couple of questions which we had. Who am I? What am I doing here? Why am I on this planet? Who sent me? What I'm supposed to do? What actually am I doing? Am I really doing what I'm supposed to do? Who is getting it done from me? Couple of questions which came in our mind. Now, when we further move on to, and our chamber, when it extends a very warm welcome to all of you, we would like to share that the people, those are joining from different places. I got some queries all the way from London. I got some inputs, valuable inputs, coming from sector skill councils. There were certain inputs from some honorable vice chancellors. I'm grateful to all of them. Those have approached us and they were looking forward to this particular series. So first of all, let's quickly move on. Our chamber ICSI extends a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us today and thank you for being part of this journey. Now, our chamber is focusing on teachers and youth empowerment. We want to revive tourism as soon as possible. Tonight at 8 p.m., you have got another session with the three ladies from Hyderabad, from Telangana. They all are educationists and they're going to talk about innovative education for equity today at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In the present times, we got to get back to our basics. And over there, basic food, basic health, basic education, all are very important. And it's so rightly said, whatever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Everything is achievable. And you got to have a positive thinking. Those of us who were with us last week, you met Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji, very distinguished person based out of Canada. He's in Toronto. And he has been deeply associated with various different verticals and different countries and different continents. So this is coming live to you on the YouTube. You can see his profile, you can go through and you can link with him. So join me in extending a very warm welcome this morning, this afternoon, this evening to Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji. And we go ahead with the morning, afternoon and evening, wherever they are. We extend a very hearty welcome, very warm welcome. I got 2-3 missed WhatsApp of yours, but I apologize because somebody else was online. He gave a call to me and he was not leaving me. So I thought I learned in my life not to be impolite to anybody, try and accommodate everybody. And it is very difficult, although they say in management sometimes, start learning how to say no. But I personally feel it's very difficult for me in my real life to say no to anybody. Politely, I told him, okay, we will take it on next time. Thank you. He was still dragging on. So I'm sorry I couldn't take your calls. I apologize for the same. And Vijay Shastri ji, I extend you a very, very warm welcome right from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sparing your time and thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everything to everyone around the world, and thanks to everyone for joining once again. Last time, I had left with a note saying that we are who am I was the question. And of course, some people answered and some people appreciated the question. But eventually, it is very important for us to understand who am I, because the whole topic of the power of self is based on understanding who you are. Until and unless you know who you are, it is very difficult for anyone to say what is the power of yourself. The self is something which will be defined only after you know who is that self. So it's very important. And bottom line is that yes, initially I had said that, and I will continue to say that always, because that's what I have learned, and that's what everywhere it is said, that we all are souls on this earth. And we, whether you call it a soul or a ruh or an atma or whatever way we want to define ourselves, all said and done, we are that force in each body which is taking us forward. So based on that, that is the base which should never be forgotten, because until and unless we remember that, we have to remind that at every point of time, that we are just a soul, and what we are carrying outside is an external body. And we have to identify ourselves with the soul more than the body. So coming to in order for us to continue and talk about self, there are many powers which we will have to actually understand, so that we can understand and take ourselves forward. So the first one I would like to discuss is about the power of detachment. And the moment the word detachment comes, everybody says, "Oh my God, मेरे को क्या विजय शास्त्री जी सन्यासी बनने को बोलते हैं?" No, that is not what I am saying. Detachment is a word which, allows us to understand that we are doing certain things, but how do we do it? So the power to withdraw is the ability to step back and then disengage from the world around us. That is what is the definition of detachment. So we have to understand that when we detach ourselves from the body, then we understand our role and responsibility. What we see is everything in the right perspective. We take accurate decisions and we do not suffer pain. Because what is happening then is we look at everyone, first of all, to ourselves, that I am a soul, and I have to understand that I have to be detached with everything if I have to continue working. So in order to do that, you have to detach yourself from the body, bodily pleasures, bodily pains, whatever you want to say, that you have to detach from that in order for you to be attached to the world. So the first and foremost thing is to understand that we are playing the role as a father or as a son or as a husband or as a daughter. These are all the relationships that we carry while we are on this earth in this specific body. So in order for us to have the power within, the first thing I personally feel is to understand that we have to withdraw ourselves and always remember, keep telling us that we are different from the body that we carry. So instead of saying I am a chartered accountant and I have achieved this, I have achieved that, and you look at the other person also as someone who is having all the same qualities that you have, because every soul has the same quality, and it is important for everyone to understand that, because and the whole purpose of this webinar is for us to get the gap. Not that we do not know about all these things, but it is important for us to know that each one of us, if we start identifying ourselves as someone, that I am playing my role basically, and I am disengaging myself from this body in everything that I do. And similarly, I also see everyone in the same role, that they are performing what they have to perform. And when I understand that everyone is doing what they are supposed to do, and I am doing what I am supposed to do, that is where the power of detachment helps us. And, there is a very, huge understanding of people that attachment you should have. Yes, the whole concept of attachment is what makes us difficult to get detached. Because having come into the world, there is right from childhood, from the time we are born, we get attached to everything that we see, because we get attracted, and and that's how we get more and more attached to the materialistic things that we are seeing in front of us. But in order for us to understand ourselves, we always have to remember that what I'm seeing, what I'm doing, everything is only my role, and I am completing that. For instance, if you go to meet the CEO of a company, in India, when you step naturally at the doorstep, you meet the attender, and he'll say, "Good morning, sir. Kaise hain? How are you?" And then you look at him, and then you go ahead. And then when you get inside further, then you meet the receptionist, you talk to her. Then you go further, you meet the manager. Eventually, you meet the CEO. But everyone whom we meet, do we interact with everyone in the same manner? That's a very important question that we have to ask ourselves, because what we see is the role of that person as a gurkha, or as the attendant, or the receptionist, or but we and that the moment we see that role, we attach ourselves to that role, and we react to that role. So if instead of seeing them as they are, and understanding that they are playing their respective roles, then your vision will be different, when you look at them, because you then will say, yes, hello, kaise hain aap? You will definitely greet the attendant, you will greet the receptionist, you will look at them as a pure soul, the way you are. So in order for you to understand that, first you have to detach yourself. And when you understand, and everybody understands that, that's how we will be in a position to identify ourselves. And always keep that behind our mind every moment, that we are playing a role, and only a role. And if that is understood by us, that power to disengage ourselves, step back, and understand that we are only a role, that's all, and nothing more than that. And when we do that, the moment we disengage ourselves and we are understanding, then we are creating power within ourselves. Because then you respect the other person. And you tell me, in this world, who would not like to be respected? Would you like if someone doesn't talk to you nicely? You certainly would like everybody to talk nicely to you. So if you expect everyone to talk nicely to they also will expect you to talk nicely to them. So it is always a question of give and take. So, but in order, this is a very difficult topic, Sharma ji, and, and I'm sharing my thoughts with everyone. Not that I'm a Gyani or anything like that. I'm only sharing my thoughts, and I'm invoking these thoughts amongst all the listeners and viewers and everyone, because every week when we progress, we will be talking about specific things, and that will leave us for the thought for that week, and we should start acting on those things, so that we can only progress when we start working on us, right? I would like to say one very important thing today, that we are always taught, and because our topic is making education relevant, I would definitely like to say this, that right since childhood, from the time we are born till the time we die, we are always taught that, okay, ABCD you learn, and then you become an engineer, you do this. You are always taught about things, but you are not never taught about how to think. And we have to understand that until and unless, because everything that we do is based on our thought, any individual for that matter, until and unless you are the first thing that happens in anyone's mind is a thought that comes, and from that thought the whole process starts. So until and unless you teach somebody, or everybody starts teaching to themselves that I have to give my thought a very, very important role, because it is that thought which is going to take forward and get converted into action, and that action will have a reaction, and eventually what happens is seen. So in order for us to understand that, we have to start teaching ourselves how to think, which I think is a subject which and a topic which I will be always bringing up in every week's discussion, because just as I am talking about disengaging, now that is also a thought. Until and unless we bring the thought into ourselves that we have to disengage ourselves from everything that is happening and do everything as the role that we are playing, then only we'll be in a position to play the role well, because then you understand your role as an actor, and then you will be a personality of peace, love, wisdom, and that is what every role should reflect, right? And I think I personally request everybody that take this as something which we need to talk about. And to continue further for the next 5 minutes, before that, Sharmaji, I would like you to tell me if there are any suggestions you have, or you have received any questions. Then I'll continue.
Thank you very much, Vijay Shastriji. People are wishing you great evening from India. Thereafter, greetings from Garo Hills, and that is Shillong, all the way in Meghalaya. Then they are joining us from Assam. They are joining us from Manipur. They are joining us from Tripura. They are joining us. I'm just trying to read it out. Interesting topic. Hello, everyone. Wonderful start. Greeting from Southern India. Important information. Exactly a role to be molded, suiting the surroundings. Foundation. Wonderful. Good advocacy, Vijay sir. And then we have got good evening, sir, and all the participants, Mamta Chauhan, and hearty welcome to everybody. So no specific questions or something of that kind. It's only people, those are joining, they are just trying to establish that here we are there.
That's fine. The whole purpose is to share with everybody the thoughts and leave that those thoughts with them, so that it is something which we have to train ourselves. Every individual has to train, and that is the power of self. That's why we are saying it's the power of self. So what we are discussing is applicable to every individual who is on the call, who's outside the call, or who will be seeing this at a later time. It doesn't matter, but it is something which is relevant to everyone. So we have to start understanding that we have to get more detached than attached, because right now, in the world, we have got so much attached to everything that we think that the purpose of our life is
Purpose of
to
our
just
life.
continuously get progress, and I don't. Yeah. And we think that progress means achieving something in this life. Achieving something in this life is progress, but what is that achievement matters, because eventually, if you are achieving everything and you are going to leave that in this world and go away, then that achievement will be of no use to you. You have to achieve something that will remain permanently with you in this life, in every life that you take, until and we eventually get moksha by the grace of God, or by the grace of all the good karmas that we do. So it is, in order for us to do that, we have to keep ourselves detached. We should not be attached to anything. And for today, I will just leave with the thought that make sure that you always detach yourself. And I would like your inputs on this, Sharma ji, because we still have few more minutes, and because that interaction may help everyone. And I'm free if you ask me some specific questions.
Thank you very much. There's another comment by Madam Julie Subba from Manipur. What we
Mhm.
receive, what we receive is the reflection of us only. If our thoughts are positive towards next person, then we feel a positive vibes within us. That is
Yeah.
something which has come from Manipur.
That's excellent. And this is exactly what I was saying, that, it is the thought. Everything starts from the thought. So if we create a good thought for the other person, you will always, your reaction will be like that, right? The vibes, how do the vibes come? I was just reading somewhere, and I like that subject very well. Like you have the waves going everywhere. If you want to tune into 93.4 or 98.1 or whatever those different things are, there are waves in the air. And how do these waves come into the air? Somebody is releasing the air. So similarly, all our vibrations also go into the air. And those vibrations are received by the person to whom you want to transmit that vibration, whether it is in your mind still or it has gone out of your mind. The moment a thought comes, that vibration takes place. And then if you have a good vibration, like Madam was saying, that's exactly what will happen. Your good vibration will flow as good to the person about whom you are thinking, and that is the purpose of our discussion. That the thought is the process. And I would leave everybody by this thought itself, that keep thinking that it's very important for you to start detaching yourself, not as a sannyasi. We have to live in this world, we have to do everything that we have to do, but at the same time, if we understand that we are playing our role, and we are only doing this because we are in that specific role. Like I mentioned to you, when you go to a place and you are visiting somebody, you are meeting another soul. So throughout every moment in our life, we are interacting with people, and we can make our life good, as well as the life of others, by giving the same vibes, good vibes that Madam was saying. So I think, yes, you should always think good and give good, so that your thoughts, if they are good, obviously your actions, because from the thought the action flows. That's what it is. Yeah.
From the
Uh,
thoughts, action flows. From the thoughts, action flows. And you always detach yourself. Keep thinking how to detach yourself and from the worldly things. But as long as you are here, I sometimes feel, it's very difficult to draw a very balanced approach, right from the childhood, the sanskaras which are being given to people in India, particularly in the rural areas, because now the metros are adopting altogether a different culture, different norms, and different way to look at life. But still, if I talk about the traditional values, if I talk about getting linked with your own civilization, soil, people, thought processes, and everything, maybe people believe sometime that, oh, we are going to miss the boat if we do not become modern. No, but
Mhm.
what exactly is modern? There is nothing of that sort. Just changing clothes and just putting decent tie and decent clothes and a jacket doesn't doesn't make me something altogether different. That's an artificial mode, I feel. The need of the hour, बारिश आ गया, कुछ और हुआ, और आप उस तरीके से उस चीज को लेकर चले. So when you're taking deep into the thoughts, you know, somewhere it is very difficult to analyze, realize, visualize, and analyze that who am I? Who am I? If somebody asks me also, Major Dr. Gulshan Sharma, why are you doing this webinar? You have done your 4 years rigorous training of the Indian Army. You got commission over there. What was the necessity to do your master's and PhD? Oh, was it already destined? Oh, it was your karma. Oh, it was written in the previous birth. Why you had to go on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and struggle so much and put in so much of efforts? You would have stayed back in army only. With so much of rigors and rigmarole and hard work, you got the commission into the army. You could have stayed there. So you are very distinguished professional chartered accountant. The question comes right from the beginning, you really wanted to become chartered accountant? Okay, fine. If you are passionate and it became your profession, you're very fortunate, you're very lucky. But most of the people, they do not become in life what they want to become. And who guides them what they want to become? And why do they become what they want to become? And is that really a right approach, what they want to become and what they become and what they should become or what they could become or what they can become?
Let me quickly answer that, Sharma ji. Everything is not just your power of yourself. There are certain things which come, and why everyone is different from each other is again a very big topic. But I will quickly summarize that it all depends on our past karmas. That's how, if at all somebody believes in the theory of karma, that life after life you keep developing, and that's how sanskars are. Otherwise, how would two children of from the same family be different? It's because their sanskars are different. One will be very calm, one will be very anxious. How did that happen? That is because of the past karmas. And as we keep going ahead, I did tell you that I'm going to discuss about the balance sheet of life. As an accountant, I will share that perspective with everybody, that we definitely have a balance sheet of life, and the opening balance sheet contains all our past karmas. And from there, whether we can overcome and correct those karmas and add more good karmas, that balance sheet, the profit loss account, like I mentioned to you earlier, will come later. But certainly, to answer your question, everyone is different because of their opening balance sheet of the karmas, and that's how they are different. That's how I would summarize.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vijay Shastriji, joining us all the way from Canada. Always a pleasure to interact with you, to get you. And next Friday, once again, we would be there. This is a very captivating term, balance sheet of life. I think somewhere we have to get deeper into that also. Certainly, we will take on that further. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for sparing your time. Look forward meeting you next Friday at the same time in the evening. Stay fit, stay fine. Green morning and green afternoon and green evening to everybody wherever you are. Enjoy yourself, take care of yourself, and power